Today is Thursday, Parashat Tissa. In the parasha of this week, it opens with telling us that when you want to take a census of the Jewish population, the way that you do it is not by counting people, but rather by having each person give a machatzita shekel, a half a shekel. When you count the half shekels, you'll know how many people are there based on how many half shekels there are. But the idea is, if you need to give half shekel, why not give a full shekel? And there are many reasons given by the Mefarshim, but one of them is that every Jew is not complete until he comes together with another fellow Jew. When you only half, you realize that you need the other half that the other person has to come together to form a whole. If everybody was to give a full shekel, then every person could be on his own, sort of separate from the others. There is of course, we're all aware of what's going now in the world with this epidemic of the virus that's going around, and there's the talk of quarantine of certain people, and in Israel they call it Hesger, which means to be separate and closed in. Well, that idea was mentioned in the Torah regarding the Metzorah. The Metzorah is a person who gets leprosy, and if it is a definite leprosy, then he's declared as Metzorah Mukhlat, a definite Metzorah. If the Kohen is not sure what he's looking at, maybe yes, maybe no, he quarantines him for 7 days, and then at the end of 7 days he checks him again. And then if he's still not sure, he quarantines him for another 7 days, for a total of 14 days. It's amazing that the quarantine that is being done nowadays is suggested at 14 days. At the end of those 14 days, the Kohen would decide whether the person is not Metzorah, is not infected with Sarat, or he is, and that would take 14 days before the decision is made. But why is the Metzorah separated from the rest of society? Well, of course, you could say in terms of infections, it could impact on others, but in truth, the Metzorah would make anything that comes in contact with him or under the same roof, it would make him tameh, it would make him ritually impure. So that's why we separate him. But our Farshim explain that a person is separated as a Metzorah to realize that he wanted to separate between people. He wanted to, by speaking Lashon Hara, because we're told that one of the main reasons why a person go into a situation of Sarat is because he spoke Lashon Hara, he spoke badly about other people, he created dissension, discord, he created a separation between people, and therefore he's separate from people. That's in the case of the Metzorah. I don't claim to have any understanding of why this epidemic is happening or whatever, but one thing I can say is in general we have a concept of measure for measure, midah for midah. And if now many people are being separated from, or social distancing as they call it also, which is a prudent way to act, it may be because we have done too much social distancing in the recent past, with people being at discord with each other, people being at extremes, people speaking bad about each other. The internet has really nuclearized the idea of Lashon Hara, of evil speech, of speaking derogatorily about other people. And maybe it's a sign that as we endure this period that hopefully will finish very soon in terms of the impact on it on society, we should take to heart the idea that we have to create more bridges amongst ourselves and more connections amongst ourselves, appreciate more each other, be more positive about other people, rather than to create discord and dissension and conflict and bad-mouthing, because when the person does that, it's as if he was separating, and it could be that this is just a way to get us to wake up, to improve ourselves in many ways. And at the same time, with all that being said, and all the precautions that should be taken, that are recommended, which are very good recommendations. We should always never, never, ever lose sight of the fact that Hashem has divine providence for every single person. That we have to have bitachon, to have faith in Hashem, to not panic, but rather to think that Hashem is watching over every aspect of every person's life. And with all that being said, again, to take all our precautions for the wealth, for the health of our society, for the health of our individuals, and whatever we need to do, we do our hishtadlut, because we do have a mitzvah, v'nishmartem me'od lenafshotechem, that we have to safeguard our health very much, our personal health, and the health of others around us. And may we be zocheh, be'ezat Hashem, soon, very soon, for all these quarantines to be lifted, for people to be able to come together, to appreciate more each other, and to be thankful to Hashem for everything. The bracha that we say, Asher yatzar et ha'adam bechokhmah, when we thank Hashem for the most basic needs of a person in terms of his health, every time that after we relieve ourselves, we say the bracha, and every morning when we wake up, we say Birchot HaShachar, appreciate every moment, and even travel that has become something that is so commonplace nowadays, where people could hop on an airplane like going on a bus. Now it's not so obviously at each person's availability, so we have to appreciate everything that we're able to accomplish and to thank Hashem, because He's the one, Hashem Melech Malchei HaMelachim, who makes everything possible in the world. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'amen.